read it. You're in business. You're a business owner. You need to go and you need to read that for yourself. I'm going to give you some highlights, but by no means is what I'm telling you exhaustive. These are just the things that are most common to new distributors and that people have questions about.
Is this available on like the team page?
It can be. It's almost exactly like the one that I have on the team page. Yeah, it's just this one's just concise. This is actually my notes. I'm not good at holding notes, so they're up there. You can read them. Okay, so number one. Anybody ever ask you, is this FDA approved?
Oh,
What do you say? You know, right? You don't want to be standing there going, no, because, you know, that sounds like, gosh, we wish it was. We don't wish it was. We don't want it to be. We are not a drug company. We are a cosmetic and a supplement company. If you go into the store and you pick up any vitamin that you see, it is not FDA approved. It's going to have the same little statement on there. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. We're not selling drugs. We're selling cosmetics and supplements. We're selling food. We're selling whole food supplements. So the answer to the question, are we FDA approved? No. No, and we don't want to be. Thank goodness we're not. We don't want to be a part of that. If somebody's really pushing it, I have occasionally had to tell people who didn't know that no vitamins are FDA approved. That's just the way it works. And I will occasionally, sometimes if I have to, with somebody that is really concerned. Some people get real uptight about this. And I will explain the difference. We are regulated in that the FDA regulates what we can and cannot say, what we can and cannot claim. That's why we're always telling you, you can't say this and you can't say that. But there is no approval process. It's not that we're not approved because we tried to be and couldn't be. We're not approved because the FDA does not approve our type products. It's not their business, really. So there are things we can and can't say, but there's not an approval process, and we don't want to be FDA approved. If we ever become FDA approved, it would be because we're a drug, and then we're all out of business. So no, we are not FDA approved, thank goodness. No supplements are approved, and what, okay, moving on to number 2. Okay, what to say about the wrap? Okay, now, if you've been around a little while, you know that there are things that people say sometimes that now we're like, oh, you can't say that anymore. We can't say inch loss about the wrap. We can't say detox about the wrap. We can't say the wrap gets rid of cellulite. We can't say it breaks down fat. You should never be using the word lipolysis. Even when we could say it, you didn't need to be using that word because people don't know what that word means. And if you say that word, they don't think they can do your business. I know because I used to say all those words. I wanted to use all the words because, you know, you think you should. So you can't say any of those things about the wrap. What you can say, you can say that it tightens, tones, and firms. Basically, anything that's on the packaging that's in the back office, you can use. So you can say, now you probably heard me say that you can't say it gets rid of cellulite. How many of you thought the wrap got rid of cellulite and you can say that? If you will listen very carefully, what we actually say is it reduces the appearance of cellulite. What is the difference?
Just for
Who cares? I mean, really? If it's gone and we can't see it, we really don't care if it got rid of it or reduced the appearance of cellulite. So we can say it reduces the appearance of cellulite. The defining gel reduces the appearance of varicose veins. The wrap, the defining gel, the stretch mark cream reduces the appearance of stretch marks. Women don't care. If that stuff's, if they can't see it, it's as good as gone to them. So you just want to make sure that you're saying the things that you can say. Now, we can't say fat loss anymore. We used to be able to say fat loss. That's what it does, but we can't say it. So what are you going to say to people? What you're going to say is basically that it's going to give you lasting results. 9 out of 10 people see lasting results in 45 minutes. It's not water loss. People kind of get upset about that. Well, how are you saying it's not water loss if you're not saying it's fat loss? I don't say anything. I just say it's not water loss. It's not. Nobody's telling me I can't say that. Most people are not going to say, then what is it? If they do, you just say, who cares? It's gone. A lot of people ask me about the water. How, you know, if we can't say detox, then what's the point of telling them to drink water? We're telling them to drink water, it implies. You know what I tell people? I don't use the word detox. I just say, you know what? The wrap is going to get the results in your body, and then the water's just going to flush everything on out. I don't say everything what, I just say the water's going to flush everything on out. So you need to drink water. So just stick to the product information. Make sure that you are just not saying things that you can't say. This is why I don't measure anymore. I do before and after pictures, and I don't measure. Anybody still measuring in the room? There are usually a few holdouts. I had a really hard time giving up the tape measure. It was tough. But since then, my business has exploded for a lot of reasons. One is that it's way faster. People aren't getting freaked out thinking they don't want to join your business because they don't know how to add fractions. That was just basic. But you don't have, it's really, really hard if you wrap somebody at a party and you're measuring and they have a certain amount of inch loss. They want to put that on Facebook. That's really hard for them not to put that. If they don't know how many inches, then it's a lot easier to just say, oh my gosh, I got these results, and they post their pictures. So you just don't have as many problems with it as you think you're going to have with not saying that. Supplements. Gosh, I could talk a long time about this. Here's the thing, y'all. You can only say what the product information says. Now, we all know, and I get questions on my team page every single day. My aunt has tuberculosis. What can she take? My sister has fibromyalgia. What can she take? We all hear that. We've all had amazing stories. We all know what wonderful things our supplements do. We could all stand up here and give a health seminar and tell all about the amazing things we've seen. And they're true, but we have to be very careful how we word things. When somebody asks me that question, I don't care what the condition or the disease or the whatever is. The first thing that I'm going to say, our products don't cure or heal or prevent any disease. I'm not giving you anything that's going to cure you. I'm not going to suggest to you what's going to cure you. What I tell them is this. What our company believes, our philosophy, is that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. God has designed our bodies to heal themselves. When we feed our bodies the way that God meant them to be fed, then they can heal the way that God meant them to be healed. So when you're taking supplements and you're improving your nutrition, that's working on your body and balancing your immune system so that your body can do the work. So if somebody's sick all the time, and I'm thinking to myself, I know they need greens. Everybody needs greens. They need greens and bottle. I'm not going to say, take greens. It'll cure that incurable disease you have. I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to tell them is greens balances the immune system. And the immune system is designed to help you fight disease. Greens alkalize the body. Disease can't survive in an alkaline environment. Even the American Cancer Society says cancer can't thrive in an alkaline environment. So if you're alkalizing, you're making a place that's just, your body is hard for disease to thrive. So do you notice the difference there? I didn't say greens would do anything. I said you give greens to your body, and your body will do the thing. Okay? It's a subtle difference, but it's very, very, very important. The reason that this is important is because, in the United States, we actually have a law that only drugs can cure, prevent, or heal a disease. I wonder all the time if one day we're going to be arrested for praying for God to heal a disease because maybe he doesn't know it's illegal for him to do so. So we just have to be very careful what we say. Okay, so if somebody asks you a question about what products to suggest, almost anything, everybody needs greens and vital. It's just that simple. Greens and vital are always the basis for just good health. And it's fine to say great nutrition is the basis for good health. Beyond that, if the product information says it, for example, New You promotes restorative sleep, promotes good sleep. You can say that. If somebody says, I just have the hardest time sleeping, let me introduce you to New You. If somebody says they're stressed, you can tell them about Confianza. The packaging says, the product information says that Confianza helps with stress. Any question?
Does it really, New You, does it really need to be for 30 plus? No. Or
You mean age? Oh, God, I didn't know if you meant 30 days. Well, here's the thing. What New You does. New You nourishes your pituitary. And your pituitary is what is responsible for releasing your own human growth hormone, your natural human growth hormone. At around 30, you're still producing, but your pituitary gets really sluggish at releasing it. So you're not able to use it. So for most people, they're not gonna see a difference with UU because their pituitary is already doing what it needs to be doing. It's around 30 that slows down. So in general, that's not gonna be the first thing that I suggest to somebody who's younger, but occasionally I have seen somebody who needed it at a younger age for whatever, and it helped them build muscle and helped them sleep and those kind of things. Any leaders got a different answer on that? Different?
I know it produces because it helps with the, well, we can't say anything medical, but it does help the blood and the oxygen in the blood. So, and I'm in martial arts, and I've given it to a lot of people that started on it, and they have more oxygen. They feel better during the day. They feel better. They can do 2 classes instead of 1. So
Even younger people?
yeah, and in 20s.
Okay.
You know, they didn't need it for whatever the real thing was, but it also does produce more blood flow in the body, more oxygenated blood. And they say they you know, it takes about 10 days to 2 weeks for you really to use to see any kind of difference. That's not one of those instantaneous supplements.
Actually, that's a very good point. Most of our supplements, we think they're instantaneous. If we give somebody Confianza and they're not feeling calmed down in 15 minutes if they're stressed, what do we think it didn't work for them? That is not the case. What we have in our supplements is, these are whole food supplements. They're going to the source of what's going on with your body. Dr. Don, anybody who doesn't know Dr. Don, he is our medical doctor on staff, and he is amazing. Dr. Don told me that it can take sometimes up to 3 and occasionally up to 6 months of taking a supplement before you begin to start to notice the difference. That's why we have the loyal customer program for 3 months the way we do. We want them to give our product a fair shot. And while most people are going to take something and they're going to notice right away, there are going to be a few. I had a lady who didn't notice the difference with Confianza for 6 solid weeks. 6 weeks before she noticed a difference. So that is actually a very good point about all of our supplements. Remember that they're going to the source or the root, and so you may not notice immediately. You might, but sometimes you might not. Tracy, did you have a comment?
I was gonna be real quick, we have a distributor who's a bikini competitor, and she's in her mid-20s, but she uses the new U when she's training to help really cut up the lean muscle.
Build the muscle.
She's eating really good, but it helps her build that muscle.
And is she under 32?
Yes.
Okay, so Chelsea, yes, there's your answer. There's a couple people who know for sure. And like I said, I've seen a few people. It's not super common, but it does happen.
I've got a great product, you know,